Alright guys, today I've got another question and answer video. So I'm going to go through some of the questions. Some of these go back a little ways, but I thought I would answer some of the questions. So even though I may have answered them in the comments section, some of these I'm going to go ahead and try and answer them in the video again and talk a little bit more about them. Once again, I've got my 9mm AR-15 pistol build out. Why might you ask? Well, I've got a number of questions that I haven't answered in the previous videos, or maybe I've touched on, but I thought I could talk a little more about. And my video about the build of the 9mm AR is one of the most popular videos that I have. And I think that's because, the 9mm is inexpensive to shoot. It's got low recoil. A lot of the guys are starting to shoot the pistol caliber carbine courses through IPSC, and it's just a lot of fun to have a 9mm or a pistol caliber carbine. So I believe I've mentioned this in one of the videos, but one of the specific questions I got had to do with the upper receiver. And that was whether or not you can use a 223 upper and just change the barrel. Well, it is a barrel change, and the handguard's going to be the same, but don't forget the bolt, the magazine well, some of the other pieces that I talk about in the other videos. But as far as the upper receiver itself, yes, absolutely, you can use a 223. In fact, this upper is just a standard 223 upper receiver. What's the difference, you might ask? Well, depending on the manufacturer, some of the 9mm uppers will remove the hole in the front for the gas tube, because you don't need the gas tube with the 9mm build. Some of them will change the way the ejection port is. You can shorten the ejection port. Some of them will move up the case deflector a little closer, and you can also do that even with a standard upper receiver by simply getting the port here. This ejection port can come with basically a half size with a built-in case deflector on this end, and then just half the port opens and the case deflector fits here. If you want that look, or maybe if you're a left-hand shooter and you're getting brass to your face, then by all means go that way. I just happened to do this as a very simple, I believe I got a pretty good price at the time, and just decided, you know what, I'm going to go with a basic upper and just build my 9mm that way. Alright, so another question related to the 9mm was about double feeds. Now, I've had pretty good luck with this pistol. I'm pretty sure at one time I did have, I think it was a failure to eject, where the case was extracted and left in there, and then when the bolt closed, the empty case and the new cartridge jammed together. So I have had one that I can think of, but it wasn't a double feed. I haven't had any issues with double feed. So my issue had to do with some really light reloads that I was trying out. Basically just enough powder to get the gun to cycle and hit the target consistently at, maybe 20 yards. Stuff that was fun to plink with at the range and really inexpensive to load. So I've not had any issues with a double feed, but unfortunately because of these magazine blocks, you can actually have some issues depending on how the spacing works out. I did explain in one of my earlier videos that I actually got this mag block for free from one of my buddies, and I had to take a file to it to get it to fit in here properly. So this one did take me some time and some effort to get it working right. Ultimately, I do have it to where it's working comfortably, but like if you look in the inside, which is hard to get on video, you can definitely tell where I filed away at some of the metal. So that's definitely not ideal, but hey, it was a free part. I wouldn't have been happy with that if I'd actually bought that magazine well adapter, but hey, if it's for free, I can make it work. That's not a huge deal. So unfortunately, you may have to play, if you're having issues with the feeding, you may have to play with either using a different adapter or trying to see if you can figure out how to adjust the height or things like that. I know some of the ones on the market used to be able to adjust for height. Spike's Tactical is supposed to be really good for that. Unfortunately, I had a recent question on where to get those, and I did a little more research and tried to find them on their website, and I can't find them anymore. So it does look like spikes may have gotten out of the mag welt game. If there's anything that, you know, if you guys know about something that they did to change that and they're still available, let me know. Alright, so the next question we'll talk about real quick is, with the purchase of a Silencerco suppressor, I did a video on getting a free mag pouch just by registering it. Now, I've had some recent comments where people have had some issues with this, and a lot of that ended up having to do with Silencerco rebranding the way some of these cases were designed. So they changed the way some of the logo and the cases look. So I know for a while those were not available, but I don't know if they will come back. Unfortunately, I don't have any kind of inside info on that. Typically, there's a hat or a t-shirt available when you register, so there is still that option if you've purchased one of the Silencerco suppressors and you're looking to get some free gear for it. So check that out. Their register page is really simple. I did mine when the Canon was still in jail. You know, I was waiting for the paperwork to come back, and the dealership had it. Went ahead and put the serial number on the form, sent it in, and they went ahead and honored that. So just a thought, you can look up the website, or you could wait a little bit. I've heard a couple issues of people basically having problems where they register on the form and then it takes a while, or they're not getting their pouches or their t-shirts. So far, every person that's gone and actually contacted them by phone, it has been taken care of. So I would say, if you don't hear anything after a couple weeks, just go ahead and get a hold of them by phone and just say, hey, here's when I registered it, let me know. And from everything I've heard, their customer service is taking care of people, so don't be afraid to do that. Alright guys, so that's it for the question and answer today. This video is pretty short, but I wanted to keep it to just a few topics, give you guys a chance to listen to what you want to. I'm going to be doing another question and answer based on some of the older questions. I've got several about the Remington that I basically rebuilt with the Criterion Remage barrel. A little bit of questions about the price of it, how I've got the Magpul magazine well feeding, mounting the suppressor on it. I've got several of those kind of questions, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing another video on that. I've also gotten a couple questions about the Ruger Precision Rifle, so I'm going to be addressing those shortly as well. So stay tuned. If you've got more questions, please ask them in the comments section. I try to get back to questions as quickly as I can. And otherwise, thanks for watching.